What's up, everybody? It's your charmingly provocative, politically incorrect, cultured, charismatic, and amicably gracious host, Mitchell. The one and only. Some of you may recognize me from the hookup culture community. I'm on a Postmates delivery right now with my lady, ride or die, waiting on an order. Right, so what are the differences between Northwest Louisiana and South Florida? First off, it's very transient here. Chances are if you meet somebody at a bar or a nightclub, like, you probably won't ever see them again. And that includes people that cut you off in traffic, like people you see at the local CVS down the street. Like, what's even more comical about that is as soon as you touch down, it's the opposite in Louisiana. As soon as you touch down there, like, before I even got to my mom's house, like, immediately I recognized somebody in traffic, immediately, because they post pictures of their car on Facebook. I'm like, oh, that's Carly or whoever the hell it may be. It was the funniest thing in the world. So, like, everybody's from here. I take that back. Everyone in Louisiana is from there, where for here, like, nobody's from here, really. And if they've been here for maybe 4 to 5 years or longer, they're usually assholes. In Louisiana, people are like, hi, how are you? You know, but here it's just, when it comes to how transient, you know, the nature of the city, people, they don't even have time to be nice. Like, people are nice by default in Louisiana, where here, there are multiple reasons why people aren't as amicable here, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's just, like a lot of big cities replicate this ignorance. But when it comes to, like, a lot of the Latino community, a lot of Jewish people that come down here, a lot of Asian immigrants, like all sorts of people that come down here, basically they fail to instill any sense of value as to why or what their purpose even is here to their offspring, to their kids. Like, what are we even doing here? Instead, this mentality of just like, fuck everybody else, I'm just going to make money however I can and rip everyone else in the process, seems to adhere to their mentality. So there's a lot of that you kind of have to move around, where I'd like to think that people are generally a little more, I mean, of course, you know, like, you got Greenwood, you got Cedar Grove, you got MLK, you know, Buncombe. As far as Louisiana, where I'm coming from, you know, you're more hood-ish spots, but here, like, there's a combination of everything, all of that. It's like living in a fucking Grand Theft Auto server, like a Scarface movie. Like, supercars, every single day you hear a Lamborghini V10 in the background, your G-Wagons, your Mercedes, your BMWs, like, just pretty much everything, like something like that. A Volkswagen EOS is like, that's like a normal car here, you know? And the scooter culture, you can't forget about the scooter culture. It's a total vibe here. It's a total vibe. So, yeah, the people, it's a very transient city. People are constantly in and out of this place, and you really only know if anyone's true to who they say they are if they actually come back and reach out to you. You know, multiple people have gone, have left I've met them here in South Florida, became pretty good friends with them, and I'm still in touch with them, you know, through social media outlets and their phone numbers. So I thought that was pretty freaking cool. The fact that, like, it's hard to meet people that are actually genuine here, or at least it seems that way, but it all has to do with where you're coming from, admittedly, and, like, I didn't have, like, the biggest crowd. Woo, too late. Somebody's bumping some, I don't know, some old house music back there. That guy actually hangs out, the guy that didn't want me to film him, he hangs out by the CVS near the local Airbnb that I'm at. But just, like, you see, like, the craziest shit ever. Like, there would be a guy in this intersection on one of those cruiser bikes, like, going around in a circle erratically. Like, just going around in a circle in the middle of a fucking intersection, and there's nothing. They'll be, like, honking for lines and lines of cars honking. And there's nothing you can do about it. You have to sit there and wait until he rides off. Like, either that or you see, like, a homeless guy defecating on the other side of the street. Meanwhile, a 48 GTB Ferrari is bumping the rev limiter on the other side of that intersection. Like, then there's a traffic stop on, like, it's just wild. It's way too wild. And, like, in Louisiana, when it comes to drivers, like everyone's basically retired, so it's aggravating in the sense that it's slow. Here it's aggravating in the sense that it's irresponsible in every way possible whatsoever. Where I come from in Louisiana, a lot of people don't have insurance. Here, I don't think a lot of people even have a license. Like, plenty of people come fresh off the boat. I remember when I was working at this shitty used car dealership ran by a bunch of sketchy Cubans. Excuse that racial slur there. And people would come in like fresh off the boat. Woo! And like just with their passport, like apply to do credit with their passport. Like that's extremely common here. Also, a lot of girls are gonna throw this whole this whole marriage in exchange for a green card thing. That's just a recipe for disaster right there. Like I don't care like if it's like a one-time thing or something. I'm not gonna get married by contract just to get a couple of $1,000. Nice. That looks like a Vespa. That looks like a copy. I don't know. There are a lot of those Chinese copies around here. This is like a Honda Grom copy right here. If you guys are familiar with those, that's not even like it's a scooter. It's a scooter because you can tell the wheelbase and you can see the CVT, the transmission over there. So that's a common thing with the scooters. It's just twist and go. Like in Miami, they're pretty dominant. Like it's hands down more efficient to get around in a scooter than it is with a car. And when you're doing Postmates, there's no comparison whatsoever, like at all. Right, so there's the people, the flora, the fauna, man, like you got your oka, your cypress trees, you know, your lakes. Like it's calm. It's a little behind, but you can't really replace the tradition that Louisiana has instilled. While here, there's plenty of tradition, but you can't really keep up with any of it unless you embed yourself into one of the things. So that's the cool part about South Florida, is that personally, I think there's enough for everybody to eat here. Everybody. And when a lot of people succumb to this lifestyle, for one, a lot of people come here traumatized. So they come like in this vacation kind of place, but everyone's always honking their horn. Nobody's nice. Like everyone's just like extremely impatient. Like they make fun of they're tired of the weather. And I got people assaulting me with their eyeballs here walking by. Like, it's the most Miami thing in the world to complain about the heat and not go to the beach. Like, it's right there. It's like maybe 2 miles that way. It's right there. Right there. And I walk up to people, hey, why aren't you going to the beach? It's right there. Like, so that's kind of how you know if somebody's from here versus if they aren't from here. The only people you see on the beaches are tourists. Let's face it. And I'm going to wrap this up with a bit of a tip. Since a lot of people, there's so much flexing and posturing here, like people don't really care so much about that in Louisiana as much as they do in South Florida. A lot of people are pretty arrogant. But if you just act completely yourself, like people move out of the way and you can find your own niche here. That's the best part about it here. Like in Louisiana, you really got to know people. Here, like in Louisiana, it'll take you a few years to be a general manager at maybe an Olive Garden, you know, a local Olive Garden. Where here, like anybody can get it done no matter what they're doing. Like they're Scarface, you know, like it's yours, take it, you know, it's here. What else? The Latino community is freaking awesome. I haven't had an arepa. Obviously, I've had it since I've been here, but like arepas are very common in Venezuela. Latinos are everywhere here. A lot of Cubans. There's like a predominant like Cuban dialect here. They combine all the words together. And then there's Colombians are here too. A lot of Venezuelans. From my hometown, actually, my hometown Maracaibo, when I was born there. Haitians, Jamaicans, Cubans, Colombians, a lot of Brazilians too. Believe it or not, I see a lot of Brazilians out here. Yamaha R3. I don't know what this dude keeps walking by for, but I'm gonna keep filming. This is Hollywood, Florida. It's it's kind of like a family-friendly version of Miami, but if you're on Dixie, such as the strip right here, you're gonna run into a lot of sketchy people. Such as the dude that's pretty much made a loop around this restaurant for some reason. Right, the people, the weather, the flora, the fauna. I just got done picking a coconut off the scooter. Like, I just ride up to people's sidewalks and you pick coconuts. Like, that's an entire vibe on its own. You know, there's obviously a lot more money here. The roads, they're not prehistoric. As you can see, there aren't any dinosaur footprints on it, unlike Louisiana. It was like, if I were to rock the scooter in Louisiana, like, I'd beef it within the first few blocks. Like, I'd hit a pothole, and like, I'd probably hemorrhage, like, right there on the spot. Like, the roads are dangerous as fuck. Dude, I think this dude just flipped me off. That's SoFlo for you, too. Like, yeah, that's another thing. The dude kept looking over like I gave a shit. Like, people, that's another thing. Like, it's indicative that people aren't as happy and easygoing here when they're worried about everybody else. That's how I know you're posturing. That's how I know you're fake. Like, or that Maserati Levante's leased. Like, it's almost clear as day. It's corny, even. A lot of it's really corny. Like, this culture, this lifestyle you see here. So that's another way you stand out. I don't give a shit about any of that. I like fast cars. You know, I give them a fist bump when I go by. Sometimes they cheer me back on. But right now, it's scooter life, man. I'm saving up for... I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to save up for a BMW Z3 2.8. Plenty of those. It's going to be my South Florida Roadster. Then I might break bad and visit Louisiana with it. Come by the Bears. Yeah, there's like a local vibe, but you really just have to you just get lost. You just get lost, and it's just a sea of culture here. Like, it's really cool, just a blend of cultures. A lot of the Creole influences are here. It's probably the second most spoken language here in South Florida, next to Spanish. On top of that, which is really cool. I've been able to kind of refine my Spanish, but people are very territorial about it, you know. We're in Louisiana, as soon as you touch down there, even if, like, they don't know who you are, they're like they think they might know you or something like that. Like, pretty much everybody knows each other there. We're here, like, no one knows each other. And no one really cares, like, like, anybody can get it here. You know, so that's pretty much all I can think of. Like everybody, it's not uncommon to see people like sitting on the curb, like waiting on their bus, you know, eating food. They look homeless probably, or maybe they are. You know, a lot of people, I see a lot of suitcases here. That's what I like to call them. I like to call them suitcases. People just bouncing around from Airbnb to Airbnb. I'm probably a walking example of that if I don't get an apartment soon. But yeah, they just lug their suitcases around, you know. Look at the colossal grill in that BMW. Wow. Yeah. Hopefully this order's ready, so I'm gonna wrap this up. If you want to see more content like this, let me know. Hit me up in the comment section. Blow me up, blow me up, blow me up. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.